By the end of this video, you should be able to define, understand, and apply essential Unit 1 vocabulary. Please feel free to watch this video as many times as you wish, pause and rewind when you need to, and most importantly, see me with any questions or if you need any clarification. Okay, we're going to be going over some vocabulary terms. Again, feel free to pause, and at the end of the video, if you still need clarification or you have questions, see me and I'll help you out. Map elements. Map elements are the essential components of a map, such as the title, author, date, compass rose, scale, legend, border, grid, source information, and index. Now, I know you don't know all of these, but what you need to know basically is that map elements are the essential components of a map. So all the parts of the map are known as map elements. Here are some examples of maps and map elements. Globe. A globe is a model of the Earth drawn on a sphere. Now, we all know that the Earth isn't actually a sphere. Can you say what is the actual shape of the Earth? That's right, it's an oblate spheroid. That's kind of bumpy. This is what a globe looks like. Atlas. An atlas is a book of maps which may include countries, cities, or towns. So an atlas is just a collection in book form of a bunch of maps. And the maps could have anything on them depending upon what their title is. They could be physical maps or political maps. They could be climate maps. They could be all different kinds of maps. This is what an atlas looks like. Just a couple of different atlases. You've got the National Geographic World Atlas. Here's the Random House World Atlas. And this is what an atlas looks like when it's open. Compass rose. Compass rose is the set of arrows that show where north, south, east, and west are on a map or globe. And we worked with the compass rose before. Here are some examples. Every map should have a compass rose on it, so you know which way to hold the map. Which way is north, south, east, or west. And on a map, north should always be pointing up. That's how a compass rose lets us know how to hold or how to look at the map. Cardinal direction. Cardinal directions show north, south, east, and west. So, if I was ever to ask you, or on a quiz, name the 4 cardinal directions, you would say north, south, east, and west. A cardinal direction is one of those 4. North, south, east, and west. Those are the cardinal directions. Intermediate direction. Intermediate directions are the directions between the cardinal directions: northeast, southeast, southwest, and northwest. And you can see here, these are the intermediate directions. These are the cardinal directions. All of them found on a compass rose. Legend or key. These two are synonyms. They mean the same thing. A legend or key explains the meaning of the symbols on a map. All of these are examples of legends or keys. And on every map there are many, many different symbols. Different things that represent different things in the real world. Cities, oceans, capital cities, countries, many different things. And that which tells you the meaning of those symbols is called a legend or a key. And it helps the geographer to let you know where things are on a map. Scale. We didn't talk too much about this in class, a little bit, but scale is a standard unit of measure that may be used to calculate distance on a map. So here is a 3D photo of Falston Middle School. If you were to go to Google Maps, in the bottom right-hand corner, right here, where the arrow is pointing, you will see the scale. And if we zoom in on that, here's the high school, you will see this distance on a map, whatever it is. It might be an inch, might be an inch and a half, might be 2 inches. But whatever distance this is on the map, that equals 100 feet in real life. So let's say this is 1 inch. If we go and estimate 1 inch, maybe from here to about here, maybe the main lobby. See how that is about the same distance as that. It might be 1 inch here, but this is actually 100 feet. That's called scale. Longitude and latitude lines. Longitude lines are also called meridians, and latitude lines are also called parallels. Lines of longitude are imaginary lines that circle the Earth. Longitude refers to the lines that circle the Earth from north to south, and lines of latitude are imaginary lines that circle the Earth also, but they refer to the lines that circle the Earth from east to west. They're also called parallels. Longitude lines are also called meridians. This is a nice graphic. I would recommend you pausing the video at this point and just kind of looking at this graphic that shows you latitude and longitude. Here again, latitude lines run horizontally. Longitude lines run vertically. Kind of these curvy ones. Okay. Ask yourself, is the place I want to find north or south of the equator? Is the place I want to find east of the prime meridian? Find the longitude lines. You can use these measurements. We'll work more with those. Which brings us to the equator. The equator is an imaginary line that divides the Earth in half. North of the equator is called the northern hemisphere, and the southern hemisphere is south of the equator. There it is. Imaginary line divides the Earth into hemispheres. The prime meridian is the 0-degree longitude meridian from which other longitudes are calculated. It passes through Greenwich, England, but basically the prime meridian is the meridian that divides the Earth in half. This would be the western hemisphere, and this is the eastern hemisphere. Which brings us to hemisphere. A hemisphere is half of a globe or map. Hemispheres correctly identifies how the equator and the prime meridian divide the Earth. So here we go. The equator, this is the prime meridian. This is the equator. This is all of this is the northern hemisphere because it's north of the equator. All of this is the southern hemisphere because it's south of the equator. Then the prime meridian, all of this is the eastern hemisphere, and all of this is the western hemisphere. Plain. A plain is a large area of flat land. Here are some pictures of the plains. Plateau. That's pronounced plateau. A plateau is a large area of high land with steep sides. These are some images of some plateaus. Peninsula. A peninsula is a large area of land surrounded by water on 3 sides. Here are some photographs of some peninsulas. Maybe you recognize one of them. Maybe this one? If you recognize this as Florida, then you know that Florida is a peninsula. This is a photo taken from space by NASA. River. Most of you know what a river is. River is a long body of water that usually flows from higher land to lower land. And of course, here are some pictures of some rivers. And they usually flow, again, using the force of gravity, from higher land to lower land. Again, please feel free to watch this video as many times as you wish. You can pause it and rewind it when you need to. And again, most importantly, see me with any questions or if you need any clarification.